شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتو یې پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا
Assalamu alaikum, welcome to this hour's news with me, Marian. Maulvi Abdul Salam Hanafi, the administrative deputy of the Prime Minister of Islamic Emirates, met with Maulvi Abdurrahman Muslim Kunduzi, the governor of Helmand. The ARC said in a press release that in this meeting, the governor of Helmand assured the efforts of local officials to provide timely services to the people. Also, Mr. Hanafi appreciated the efforts of local officials and said that ensuring security, providing social welfare, and addressing to the problems of people are among the duties of and responsibilities of the Islamic Emirate. In the second session of the Supreme Council of the Standards, chaired by Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar Akhund, the economic deputy of the Prime Minister, 30 standards were approved. On the other hand, the economic deputy of the Prime Minister says that this will prevent the production and import of low-quality goods and provide standard goods to the people. The economic deputy of the Prime Minister's office says that in the second session of the Supreme Council of Standards, chaired by Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar Akhund, economic deputy of the Prime Minister of the Islamic Emirate, 30 standards have been approved. Economic deputy of the Prime Minister added that these standards are in the sectors of construction, food and beverages, medical equipments, mines, petroleum products, textiles, environment and electronic devices. In order to provide standard products and imports to our compatriots, it is necessary to create and implement standards. This will prevent the production and import of low-quality goods and provide standard goods to the people. On the other hand, investors and traders in the country welcomed the approval of the standards and said this can help to validate Afghanistan's commercial goods in international markets. As standards have been approved for about 30 goods, it will be in the interest of Afghanistan. It will support domestic production and create confidence for the people. As we move towards exports, it has a positive role in exports. As long as goods and services in Afghanistan are standardized and these standards are implemented, there is no doubt that it can adjust itself to the world's standards and norms. Economic experts also consider standardization of commercial goods in the country important and say by implementing the standards, the country's products and imports will become standardized. I think that the depreciation law in Afghanistan and other production laws that exist in Afghanistan actually called for such standards. The economic deputy of the Prime Minister in this meeting seriously asked all departments to seriously implement and follow the standards approved by this council. Maulvi Badruddin Haqqani, ambassador of the Islamic Emirate to United Arab Emirates, met and held talks with Sheikh Mohammed bin Al-Zayed Al Nahyan, Amir of that country. The deputy spokesman of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says that in this meeting, the two sides discussed the general situation in Afghanistan, recent developments and opportunities. In this meeting, Mr. Haqqani talked to the Amir of United Arab Emirates about the transfer of Afghan prisoners from that country, facilitating visas for Afghans going to that country, and some other problems faced by Afghans living in the United Arab Emirates. Sheikh Al Nahyan assured the Afghan ambassador that cooperation and facilitation would be provided in all matters discussed. The head of the political office of the Islamic Emirate in Qatar, Suhail Shaheen, said in response to the opening meeting of the working group on combating narcotics by UNAMA that Afghanistan has not received any assistance from any side in this regard. He added that the Islamic Emirate has carried out a constructive fight against narcotics and the world must fulfill the responsibility in the field of alternative cultivation. The head of the political office of the Islamic Emirate in Qatar, Suhail Shaheen, says that the United Nations and other countries have not provided any financial or technical assistance to Afghanistan in the field of combating narcotics and that they must fulfill their commitments in this regard. At the third Doha summit, delegation of various countries decided to support anti-narcotics efforts and provide alternative projects for farmers. And they formed two working groups for this purpose to explore practical ways and implement them. I think it is necessary to implement the decisions of the third Doha summit and help those farmers who need assistance and alternative projects due to the poppy ban. At the same time, analysts consider the Islamic Emirate's fight against drugs to be unique, as it has been able to reduce it to zero, but they add that those who have been busy with opium poppy for years should instead fulfill their responsibility in alternative cultivation. One of the responsibilities of the international community is to cooperate in this area. and to not limit this cooperation to Afghanistan. This will help those compatriots in Afghanistan who were previously involved in poppy cultivation. Therefore, the international community is obliged to take urgent steps in this area in Afghanistan. This comes at a time when the UNAMA, during a virtual meeting on the fight against drugs yesterday, praised the Islamic Emirates' fight in this area and stressed more coordination and assistance with Afghan authorities. It was held with the aim of establishing cooperation with the UN Special Representative. Rosa Watambayeva called the fight against drugs an important issue for Afghanistan and the region. The Afghan Christian Society says that Sheikh Shahabuddin Dilawar, the head of this society, met with Alexander Matthew, the head of the Asian section of the International Federation, during a visit to China. According to the Afghan Christian Society, in this meeting, the two sides discussed improving the humanitarian situation in Afghanistan, supporting the needy people and providing emergency aid during the winter season. Alexander Matthew appreciated the activities of the Afghan Christian Society and assured of continued assistance to the people of Afghanistan. The Supreme Court of the Islamic Emirates reports the processing and execution of nearly 1,000 bails and cases in Balkh province. According to the Supreme Court, the Court of Balkh province has processed more than 600 cases and executed more than 300 bails in the past 2 weeks. The Commission for Contact of Afghan Personalities announces the return of former District Governor of Darwaz, Badakhshan province, to the country. The Commission wrote on its X page that Abdul Qadir Safa returned from Iran through the contact with this commission. Solang conservation officials assured that highway has been reopened. According to the officials, the Solang tunnel was temporarily closed to the traffic due to the snowfall yesterday, but with the efforts of the officials, it has been opened to all types of vehicles. 30 people have been arrested in connection with the reuse, transportation, and sale of drugs from 9 provinces of the country. The Deputy of Combating Narcotics of the Ministry of Interior Affairs in the press release said that these people were arrested from the provinces of Herat, Nangarhar, Samangan, Kapisa, Faryab, Nimroz, Daikundi, and Farah. According to the deputy, a quantity of drugs such as hashish, opium, and tablets were also seized from the arrested people. The Deputy of Anti-Narcotics of the Ministry of Interior Affairs announced the discovery and burning of more than 3,000 kilograms of one-type drugs. According to the deputy, these drugs were burned during the search operation by the Anti-Narcotics Police in the 2nd District of Firozkoh city of Ghor province. The Ministry of Rural Rehabilitation and Development announced the distribution of aid to more than 3,000 families in Farah province. According to officials of this ministry, this aid was distributed by WFP to more than 3,000 needy families in the Parchaman district of the province in cooperation with the Rural Rehabilitation and Development Department of this province. This was all for tonight. Thank you for watching.
شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوي پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا